Oil and gas continue to impact every human life. Let's take a closer look at recent developments in this vital industry.
Recent events in the USA and Canada have put a spotlight on the integrity of the oil and gas pipeline infrastructure. Ongoing updates to legislation mandate increased due diligence with respect to pipeline corrosion, and the oil and gas industry is working on improved ways to gather and interpret relevant data on the condition of pipelines, both internally and externally. The industry is working to better understand corrosion mechanisms and how best to mitigate them. One company in Lacombe, Alberta, is learning all it can on the subject and sharing that knowledge with the rest of the industry.
At Rysco Corrosion Services, we place an emphasis on education, whether it's for our employees so they can understand the requirements of our clients, or whether it's for our clients so they can understand what has to be done, or whether it's for the general public so that they can understand what we're up against.
Despite recent media reports of failures, pipelines remain the safest, most efficient means of transporting oil and gas resources to refineries, storage facilities, and finally onto consumers. Oil and gas companies have budgets related to corrosion monitoring and mitigation to ensure the integrity of their infrastructure and to comply with relevant legislative requirements.
Here at Rysco Corrosion Services, we work diligently to provide consistent, representative data to support our customers' requirements and to promote public safety. We establish a value-added, hands-on approach for all our business relationships.
Metallic pipelines face the threat of corrosion on two fronts: externally and internally. External corrosion is better understood than internal corrosion and readily mitigated. External corrosion influences can be relatively static when compared to the internal environments contributing to pipeline internal corrosion.
It's much easier to accommodate for internal corrosion monitoring in the engineering, the front end and design phase. However, existing infrastructure can pose quite a challenge. The most important factor in the process is determining the representativeness of the monitoring location.
The mechanisms of internal corrosion can be more difficult to determine because of the changing local environment in a pipeline. In order to detect and measure corrosion within a closed system, Rysco Corrosion Services uses techniques like employing a remote sensor called an electronic probe, and by installing pieces of metal called weight loss coupons into the pipeline. The coupons can then be withdrawn after a scheduled period and analyzed for their rate of corrosion, allowing Rysco staff to evaluate the overall corrosion taking place within the pipes.
I think that companies choose Rysco Corrosion because of the level of service that we provide. I also think it's our innovative approach with some of the unique technologies that we use, and I think it's our whole systems approach to their business.
Internally, corrosion is a product of the chemical and physical nature of the substances being transported, along with the internal conditions of the pipeline environment like temperature, pressure, flow velocity, and the presence of bacteria. Mitigation solutions can include the application of corrosion inhibitors in biocides, internal coatings, liners, physical removal of any water, and dehydration prior to entering the pipeline system.
The people in our industry live in the same communities as the general public, so of course we care about the environment. At Rysco Corrosion Services, we use ongoing research, sound knowledge, international standards, and continuing education for our employees to help contribute to public safety and environmental safety. Continuous improvement is a strong aspect of the business model here at Rysco Corrosion.
Nobody wants oil, gas, or other dangerous substances to leak from a pipeline system. Rysco Corrosion Services can help prevent such an event before it happens by providing proactive corrosion measurement on the pipeline.